Make sure you stick around and watch the whole video because I am giving away one of these filter sets courtesy of Freewell, a 7-in-1 filter system. And I've been shooting photo with this. I've been shooting video with this. I even shot this on the RB67. Done. So hey guys, welcome back. A lot's been going on. Sorry, I've been MIA, moved, been on vacation, still don't have internet or TV because, well, Comcast. And also I'm building out the garage space behind you here so that I have more space to kind of create more videos and do more content like this. But I have a lot of film to develop, a lot of videos in queue. Today we're going to be talking about a tool that I've been using for the past month and a half now that I've really come to enjoy. It is a 7-in-1 filter system. So one of the reasons I shoot film, and I'm sure a lot of you do, is because of, the faded vintage look to it, the almost cinematic feel it has, the softer highlights. So I've been looking for a nice, solid mist filter to incorporate into my digital shooting for both photo and video to kind of bring that cinematic, vintagey look into my digital work, but also to use that same, mist filter for film to kind of soften the highlights of lights and things like that for shooting at night or just scenes where you have, whether it be light bulbs and things like that, to kind of soften them up and give them a more appealing look to them. And also shooting film, of course, and shooting digital, you always need to have a ND or variable ND system with you. So when Freewell reached out to me and said they had a 7-in-1 filter system that performed 20 different functions, obviously I said yes. Because, shooting film takes time. So if I can cut down on the amount of things I have to do, I'm all for it. And by the time I get through all that stuff, the last thing I want to do is go switching a filter in and out and trying to get the thing right. I just won't end up doing it. We'll shoot without a filter. We'll just shoot with whatever I have on it. So let me just show you how quickly it is to switch between these 7 different filters on this Freewell ND Variable Mist CPL filter system. Done. It is that simple. I just switched out 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of glass and got 7 different filter variations with that and 20 different functions, all in a matter of a few seconds. Now, if you're sitting here trying to do that with your typical screw-on filters, it would take you forever just to switch between 2, much less 7 different variations. And make sure you stick around and watch the whole video because I am giving away one of these filter sets courtesy of Freewell. They've given me one to give away to one of you, so we'll be doing a contest and one of you will be winning one of these awesome filter sets. Also, I'm going to tell you how you can get a pair. So how it works is you have your empty base shell that you screw onto the lens. Once that's on, you have your base glass, which is either the VND or the VNDxMIST. Now these are one-stop VNDs. Of course, one just has a mist, one does not. You want to make sure you line them up properly. You just line up the Freewell logos and make sure the magnetic ends are facing each other so that it locks into place right there. And then you're good to go with that. Now, if I want to put on the 2 to 5 stop, all I have to do is again line up the A's, and then I just pop that on right there. And I'm good to go. So now I have a 2 to 5 stop filter and it has hard stops at the 2 and 5. It's free, smooth in between, which I prefer. So now all I have to do is switch between that is just pop that off. Same thing on the 6 to 9. Now it has a hard rim here in between that locks in place on the base plate. And that's what gives you the hard stops on your VNDs between the 6 to 9 and the 2 to 5. Now, if you take that off, of course, you have to remove this in order to use the CPLs. If you want to replace the mist with just the regular VND, you can do that. Again, these are one-stop filters. But if you take out that main base glass, then all you do is flip over your 6 to 9 stop and you have your ND32 CPL. Same thing with your ND2 to 5. If you just flip it over, you just have your regular CPL filter. Now this is so convenient. I mean, I can't tell you how many times where you get in that situation and you need a CPL filter, or you need to switch your ND, but you just don't have time, or you left it or something like this. With this, it's just so quick and convenient to just flip it and turn it around. If I just have a 6-9 with me, I can just flip that around and I have my CPL. Or I can take off that 6-9 top and I have a 1 stop if all of a sudden I'm just in the shadows and I have no light and it just gets really dark. It is extremely convenient, and I have enjoyed using this for the past month and a half. At first, it is a bit tricky to get used to because you're thinking about, okay, well, I have to flip this one around, and then it's kind of confusing. And I forgot to take out the base plate at first before I switched to the CPL. So I was getting some weird colors and shifts and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. But after the first couple hours of just realizing what all it was capable of, it was second nature, just switching back and forth between these filters. Now this by far is the best piece of gear that I have gotten in a while. I mean, I've gotten lenses, I've gotten cages, I've gotten monitors, I've got lighting, all kinds of stuff that I've invested in. And this is something that I should have invested in before I got all that stuff, because this really does come in handy in so many different scenarios. It will dramatically improve your videos before getting into all that other more expensive stuff. Now I know you're probably thinking, okay, well, you have all these filters in one. What are the side effects? What does it look like? What are the negatives? Like, are you gonna get weird color shifts? Are you gonna get weird vignetting? And honestly, I have not noticed any weird shifts in color. Of course, with any ND, you're gonna have a slight shift to either more green or magenta, but it's very subtle with this, and it's very easy to correct in post, or correct in camera if you do it the right way, but you're gonna get that with any ND system. It's just the nature of variable NDs. But I will say this is much more subtle than what I'm used to. And I've been shooting photo with this, I've been shooting video with this. I even shot this on the RB67, and it has really performed spectacularly. I almost forgot to mention, they still have that magnetic cap that they used to, but now instead of plastic, it's a nice glass, sleek cap to it with a see-through Freewell logo. The downside of this, of course, is that it's also just another thing to easily smudge, and for me, that's always an issue, but it does look cool, and it's great to protect. See, I put it on backwards, but it's great to protect these VND systems, even though they come with a lifetime warranty and they are coated with a scratch, dust, water resistant proof material on them, so they are built well. I have dropped a few of them a couple of times, and they are holding up fantastic so far. I'm gonna try not to do that again. Now, I do have a pre-production set, so this is not the final design, and I've been in contact with Freewell about some modifications, things they need to improve, and they've gotten a lot of good feedback from other people that they've sent these out to. Some of the negatives that I expressed to them was, first of all, this case. It's a hard shell, but the issue I have with it is you open it up, and that's as far as it opens right there. And if you're trying to get a filter system out of there, it was smudging all the time for me with my clumsy fingers trying to get those filters out. I just smudged them all up because you can't get it that much further open. Plus they're magnetic, so they're sticking together in here, creating more issues. Another thing that I had concern with is the mist base that they have is a 1/8 mist. From my using it and my experience and my research with Freewell, their mist filters tend to be a little bit heavier than other brands, say Polar Pro or Moment, things like that. Their mist tends to be a little bit more intense, which can be good if that's the look you're looking for, and if you have different levels of mists that you can work with. That being said, if you only have one mist filter to work with, you probably want it to be more subtle. Something that's got a heavy punch to it, you're not gonna be able to use for every shot. Whereas something like a softer 1/16 mist, you can use across the spectrum without having to worry about it overpowering your creativity or what you're trying to do. With this 1/8, I noticed it was kind of difficult for me to kind of incorporate that throughout a piece because it was so intense. Of course, I shot this directly into sunlight to see how it would react. I shot it in daylight, I shot it at night, I shot it in my old office. So that's something else I expressed to them, and they said they were looking into and adjusting that as well because they had heard that from other people also. So that means the final product that they are launching here on Indiegogo is gonna be pretty awesome, and it's gonna have all the adjustments made that this one needed to be done. Again, this is a pre-production model, so those things are tweaked out and worked out. That's why they send these out to people to test. With this system, you're not gonna get any other variable filter ND system that combines all these features into one compact, simple, quick, interchangeable setup. So if you're like me and you shoot a lot of photo, video, film, everything like that, and you want a compact, versatile filter system, so you can have VNDs for your film and digital as well, and then a mist filter that you can kind of translate across the board, this is going to be a great option. Now, in speaking with Freewell, they did say they were looking into this option as well of offering multiple base plates. So that being said, if you got 2 of the base plates and attached it to your digital camera, maybe a 16 to 55 lens, and then also to your film camera, and you had it on that, now you have 2 base plates, but you have a VNDxMIST and you have a VND base. So you could technically have a VNDxMIST with a 6 to 9 and a VND one stop with a 3 to 5 on 2 separate lenses. So you have 2 filter systems for the price of one, and you can switch those back and forth really quickly. Or if you just want to use the 2 to 5 stop with a mist, you can put it on your digital camera and then very quickly take both of those pieces of glass off, pop them right onto the other one magnetically. You're not unscrewing, screwing anything on, and you're off shooting again in a matter of seconds, as opposed to minutes of unscrewing and screwing back on and attaching multiple filters or all that kind of garbage. So that's what really made the difference for me and why I'm hanging on to this filter set for sure, and will be using it a lot. Also, if they end up giving you different mist base layers, so this is a 1/8, if you have the option to do a 1/16 or a 1/4, now you have different options along the way to incorporate into this filter system. So you have a variable ND, variable mist setup. So as far as the giveaway is concerned, to win this filter setup, comment down below with what your favorite feature of this system is, and make sure you use the word Freewell, because that's how I'm going to look up through the comments and randomly pick a winner for this filter setup. Also, I haven't forgot about the film camera giveaways that we're doing in our previous video. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go back, watch those, and enter. Those will be coming up rather soon. We're almost to our goals of giving those away, so if you haven't watched that, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go do that. I might speed up the process a bit just to help those out who have been good enough to participate sooner. So if you're interested in getting one of these filter sets, I will leave the link down below in the description. But that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully very soon you'll see a very different setup here. I've got a lot in the works. It's going to be cool. But until then, I'll see you next time.